The WTA poll had asked a simple question. From Queens to Wimbledon and everything in between, who was your standout performer of the 2026 grass court swing? The answer was not even close. Eala didn't just win the vote. She obliterated the competition, leaving the newly crowned Wimbledon champion in her dust, 89% of the vote. Out of 2,442 participants who signed up and voted in the WTA's website poll, Eala captured 2,164 votes. Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova managed only 176 votes. Wimbledon finalist Karolina Muchova trailed with 72 votes. Even the defending Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek, whom Eala had shocked on center court, could not compete with the Filipina phenomenon. The margin was not just a victory, it was a mandate. And the numbers told a story that went far beyond the tennis court. The WTA poll had asked a simple question. From Queens to Wimbledon and everything in between, who was your standout performer of the 2026 grass court swing? The answer was not even close. Eala didn't just win the vote. She obliterated the competition. Out of 2,442 participants who signed up and voted in the WTA's website poll, the 21-year-old Filipina captured 2,164 votes, 89% of the total. Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova managed only 176 votes, or 7%. Wimbledon finalist Karolina Muchova trailed with 72 votes, or 3%. Bad Homburg finalist Naomi Osaka placed fourth with just 17 votes. The margin was not just a victory. It was a mandate. Alexandra Eala is your star of the swing for the grass court season, the WTA announced on July 17, 2026. Eala captured nearly 90% of the vote, finishing ahead of a field of contenders that included newly crowned Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova. The recognition was historic. No Filipino had ever received such an honor from the WTA. No Asian player had won the award since Naomi Osaka in 2021. But the honor was about more than just winning a popularity contest. It was about what Eala had accomplished during a 5-week grass court campaign that transformed her career trajectory. She opened the swing by winning her second career WTA Wonder 25 title at the Lexus Birmingham Open, navigating a week of rain delays to defeat Nikola Bartonkova in a 3-set final, 5-7, 6-3, 7-5. It was her first grass court title, a milestone that announced her arrival on the surface. She carried that momentum into Germany, where she reached the semifinals at the WTA 500 Berlin Open, stunning world number 2 Elena Rybakina and world number 8 Elina Svitolina along the way. The wins were not flukes, they were declarations of arrival. Then came Wimbledon, seeded no. 29, Eala became the first player from the Philippines to reach the second week of a Grand Slam singles tournament in the Open era. Her defining moment came in the third round on center court, where she defeated defending champion Iga Swiatek 7-6-9, 6-2. The victory sent shockwaves through the tennis world and united a nation of 110 million people in celebration. Though her run ended in the fourth round with a 3-set loss to Jasmine Paolini, Eala's 5-week stretch pushed her to a career-high ranking of number 28. She had compiled a 12-4 record on grass courts, the best of any player during the swing. The vote was a reflection of the Eala Effect. Filipino fans, numbering in the millions across the globe, had mobilized to support their hero. But the margin of victory, 89%, suggested that the support extended far beyond the Filipino diaspora. The world had taken notice. And the WTA had finally acknowledged what fans around the world already knew. Eala was the standout performer of the grass court season. The WTA poll had asked a simple question, but the response was anything but simple. Out of 2,442 participants who signed up and voted, Eala captured 2,164 votes. Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova managed only 176 votes. Wimbledon finalist Karolina Muchova trailed with 72. Bad Homburg finalist Naomi Osaka placed fourth with just 17 votes. The margin was not just a victory, it was a statement. What made the landslide even more remarkable was the competition Eala had faced during the grass court swing. Eala had compiled a 12-4 record on grass, the third best record of the season. Noskova had gone 13-1, Muchova had gone 12-2. On paper, the Czechs had better records. But the poll was not about statistics, it was about impact. Eala's run began in Birmingham, where she won her second career WTA 125 title, navigating a week of rain delays to defeat Nicola Bartunkova 5-7, 6-3, 7-5 in the final. The title was significant. It was her first on grass and announced her arrival on the surface. Then came Berlin. As a wildcard entry, Eala stunned world no. 2 Elena Rybakina, the 2022 Wimbledon champion, in the second round 7-5, 6-4. She followed that with a quarterfinal victory over world no. 8 Elena Svitolina, securing her 6th career win over a top 10 opponent. The run ended in the semifinals with a loss to Noskova, but the damage had already been done. Eala had proven she belonged on grass. Then came Wimbledon. Seeded number 29, Eala defeated Renata Zarazua and Maya Joint in straight sets to reach the third round. Then came the match that would define her career. On center court, she defeated defending champion Iga Swiatek 7-6, 11-9, 6-2. The victory was historic. Eala had become the first player from the Philippines to reach the second week of a Grand Slam singles tournament in the Open era. In her post-match interview, she spoke directly to the little girl she once was. "I went to train every day after school, with my ruffled socks, light-up shoes, and chubby cheeks. To younger me, this is everything." The words touched millions. The Filipina diaspora, already mobilized, shared the clip across every platform. The Eala Effect had become a global phenomenon. Her run ended in the fourth round with a 3-set loss to Jasmine Paolini. But the 5-week stretch had pushed her to a career high ranking of number 28. And the WTA poll had given her something even more valuable, proof that her impact had outgrown the sport itself. The Eala Effect was no longer just a phrase. It was a movement, and the WTA had finally taken notice. The WTA poll had been settled, but what the numbers did not capture was the transformation that had made Eala's victory possible. A player who had never won a match on grass before 2024 had just dominated the most prestigious surface in tennis. Eala's grass court breakthrough did not happen overnight. In 2024, she lost in the second round of qualifying at Nottingham and reached only the quarterfinals of a WTA 125 event in Venice. By 2025, she had made the final at Eastbourne, becoming the first Filipino to contest a tour-level final. The grass was finally starting to feel like home. The 2026 season took that foundation and built something extraordinary. Eala opened the swing by winning the Birmingham Open WTA 125 title, her second career WTA 125 trophy. She navigated a rain-disrupted week, battling back from a set-down to defeat Nicola Bartunkova 5-7, 6-3, 7-5 in the final. It was her first title on grass, and it signaled something had clicked. From Birmingham, she carried that momentum into London. A second-round exit at Queen's Club was a minor setback, but it only fueled her hunger. Then came Berlin, where she produced the most impressive run of her career. She defeated Donna Vekic, the Queen's Club champion, in straight sets. Then came the upsets that turned heads. She stunned world number 2 Elena Rybakina, the 2022 Wimbledon champion, 7-5, 6-4. In the quarterfinals, she dismantled world number 8 Elena Svitolina, 6-3, 6-4. "I think Eala's game is perfect here," Jasmine Paolini would later say after their Wimbledon clash, offering the highest praise from a player who had just defeated her. The Italian recognized what the tennis world was beginning to understand. The Filipina had found a surface that suited her game perfectly. The semifinal loss to Linda Noskova in Berlin ended the run, but the damage had been done. Eala had posted a 12-4 record on grass, the third best of the season behind Noskova 13-1 and Muchova 12-2. She had beaten 3 top 10 opponents on the surface, including the defending Wimbledon champion. The transformation was complete. The WTA poll had been settled. But what the final tally revealed about the Eala Effect was something the tennis world was still struggling to process. The numbers told a story that went far beyond tennis. Out of 2,442 voters, Eala captured 2,164 of them. The 89% mandate was not just a reflection of her performance on the court. It was a demonstration of the movement she had built off it. Filipino fans had mobilized. They had voted. They had made their voices heard. But the margin of victory suggested something deeper. A global audience that had been captivated by the Filipina phenomenon. The polls closed. The results were announced. The WTA had named Eala the star of the grass court swing, a recognition that no Filipino had ever received. But for the thousands of fans who had flooded the voting booth, the honor was not just about a tennis award. It was about representation. It was about pride. It was about a nation of 110 million people finally seeing themselves reflected on the global stage. And the message was unmistakable. The Eala Effect was here to stay. Eala's win sent shockwaves through the Philippines. Social media platforms exploded with congratulations. Philippine media outlets celebrated the achievement. And fans who had waited years for a hero finally had one to call their own. But the voting result was also a wake-up call for the WTA. The sport's future was no longer just about Europe and the United States. It was about emerging markets. And no market was emerging faster than the Philippines. The vote also highlighted the changing face of tennis fandom. Fabian Paget, CEO of sports marketing agency 17 Sport, had put it perfectly. Tennis is becoming more and more globalized. It's not just about Europe or the US like it used to be. Eala represented that new reality. A reality where a player from a country without a tennis tradition could capture the imagination of millions. For Eala, the award was a validation of everything she had worked for. But it was also a reminder of the responsibility she carried. She was not just a tennis player. She was a symbol. A symbol of what Filipinos could achieve. A symbol of a nation that refused to be overlooked. The hard court swing awaited. The US Open beckoned. But the star of the swing award had already secured Eala's place in tennis history. And the world was watching to see what she would do next.